Sorry about that. I think the camera shut off. So I was expecting a 9, maybe a 9.5. I was way off. Cal Riley autograph number to 12. All these cards, as you can tell, that border are way off. Back's not so bad. And as far as surface, it looks pretty good. It's just the yeah, their centering sucks. This one, I didn't even know you could get this low of a grade on this card. I did not. I had a couple of these, so I was just like, well, I'm gonna send them in one by one, and I guess there's a couple little scratches there, maybe. And this was another one that got me. I don't know whether it's the print lines. Like some companies won't hammer you on them, other ones will. Because when I was looking at that thing, I was like, man, that thing is brilliant looking. And that's it. So more than likely that one's going to go to SGC, just because I have sent stuff in with print lines to them, and they're like, no, that's fine. It's just part of the thing. And I pulled this out of a box. Again, there was no grader notes. And I didn't see anything then. I don't see anything now. This one I knew was going to get, I kind of just wanted this one authenticated, but ain't no biggie. It's not like I plan on getting rid of it. It's, acetate or plexiglass basically. So, and it's got some surface issues. But it's the only Pete Rose auto I have as of now. Pulled this one out of a break not too long ago. Apparently they did not like it as much as I did. But I have two versions of this card now. I have this one out of 25. And the other one's out of 250. And where is the 25? Oh, there it is. 25 and 25. Again, high auto grade. Ozzie Smith. I don't know what it is about pristine either. No matter what pristine I send in or who I send it to, I always get a 9. So, and I want to say this was encased. So you'd think maybe it would have a little less wear and tear. So the only thing I could think of is their centering, but who knows? This one here was a raw eBay purchase. So I thought this card would take a hammering because it is nothing but black. And dark borders. I knew the corners were a little touched, but I was mightily surprised on that one. So that's a pretty nice one. But another auto of 10. This is the Joe DiMaggio Sweet Spot from 2001. Not that thick of a card. It's just, yeah, that full bleed red back. And I mean, I love their cases. This was a Walmart pack pull from 2001. So centering's a little off. Corners, as always, touched. But just a very awesome card. Yeah, had a little bit of silver foil stuck on it. Jackie Robinson, Rookie of the Year. I'd been sitting on this card forever. I bought it so long ago, can't even remember. And I never really thought about the price of it till I hopped on eBay one day and saw what some people were buying and asking for this card. I was like, holy crap, that what? So, and at the time, I think I paid like $100 for it, and it is oof. This one, we got the touch corners, but I plan on giving this one to a friend of mine. He's not a big collector. He's just a Reds fan, so I thought he'd like that. Not a crazy expensive card. Cool card from 2001 Ultimate. Again, a little thicker memorabilia card, so I was hoping for a little bit of a higher grade, but an 8 is average. That's what we get. This one's awesome. This is magic numbers from Ultimate out of a 9. Yeah, I bought a lot of memorabilia cards in the early 2000s because, that was kind of the thing. I remember I pulled the Decky Nomo jersey card from, what was it? Not Finest. Gold label. What was it, like 02, 03 when they first came out? Everybody thought they were short printed, and boy, that thing was popping on eBay for anywhere from like $325 or $225 to $350. And by the time that baseball season got over, that card was down to like $50, and I was like, dang. So I knew this one, it had some flaking around there. It's still just a cool card from his rookie year. Had some flaking there, which is a weird spot to have flaking. I can kind of maybe understand there, but just there. And I don't know how long it's been there. I've had that card since 2001, so I just might never even really looked at it. This one, it's again, I don't know where the hit got taken, or if they just grade these super hard, and none of them are 10s. So, I mean, it's $5-7 card, so I'm not really going to fret too much over it. I own this card in a much higher grade already, but I had one in my box for all. I was kind of sending it in to kind of compare it to a higher grade from somebody else. Like, got a little bit of a touch corner. I thought this was going to be more of like a 9, so we weren't too far off from each other. Still a cool card. Honestly, the surface of it, don't see any problems. This one, I don't know what's wrong with it. Usually I do pretty good sending these out. Well, I'll take that back. I have had one. I got a Trout one that I cracked out of the case that I graded way back in the day. Centering's off, front to back. So I guess I'm thinking their centering is a very, very crucial thing. This one will be taken out because I don't know. Every single one of these I've sent in have come back at least a 9.5 or a 10. And I'll crack it out, look it over, and this one took a hard hit, especially for a modern card. So this one will be a crack out. I don't mind like older cards from 90s, even early 2000s, but ultra modern. Yeah, I have to have at least a 9. You see that little corner touch there, but that's part of a shoe. Other than that, very cool looking card. Don't mind an 8.5 on that. This was a pack pull from just a couple months ago. Wanted to kind of see what they did on these, which as far as disco, I didn't see anything wrong with it. So this one I kind of figured wouldn't get too high because of the acetate. These are kind of hard cards to even find online, and I have yet to see another one of his online. So it's a pretty dope little card there. I was kind of hoping maybe they'd pass it for a 9, but I understand. This was a pack pull from 25 years ago. Front of this thing is pretty good. The corners are a little touchy. The back was ate up, but it's Tony. I got a couple of these I'm going to start sending in. It's kind of hard to tell on these things. I mean, it's usually, I want to say, every card that's been lenticular like this. What's eating me up is the edges because they got like, the melted plastic. All right, here we go. Beautiful card. I pulled this one out of a break back in the day. Stoked about this, but it's not scarce by any means. This one I sent, it's numbered out of 50, but I don't know if it'll pick it up, but there was a scratch that ran almost top to bottom. Plus you got, looks like a little dimple up there. So to me it was just too nice of a card not to really grade, even though I knew it wouldn't be a 10. I was kind of hoping maybe it was like 8.5, 9. Yeah, maybe that's that scratch. But yeah, it ran along there, so that's probably what stopped it from at least being a 9. But damn, plastic dust. Other than that, this card was pretty cool. There we go. We got a little older one. Again, these are another card that a lot of times you'll get the chipping and stuff. The front of this is pretty awesome. Back, you can see along the tops, corner. But I've always liked that set. So this one was a crack out from SGC. SGC gave it a 8.5, which I really like this card and I want it in a high grade, so I'm just going to wind up buying one online. But this was one I've just always had raw in my collection. And the front of this card is immaculate. So that's kind of like a test I wanted to see because I knew what was wrong with this card. So they knocked it down a half a point from SGC, and a lot of it had to do with just the it's not picking up. There is some chipping along the top. I wanted to say there was on sides. I think there's chipping along the bottom corner. So they definitely got that one a little harder. This is just I just wanted this thing authenticated, but maybe they grade everything. I picked this up at a antique store for $25-30. One of the last times I went home, and a guy had a little baseball card area, and I was like, it's a King Griffey Jr. print plate. I'd rather it been on the Marlins, but it's not from a upper tier brand, but I was like, I'm taking that bad boy home. So they do grade full grades on printing plates. And I have pulled some printing plates in my day, so it's OHTANI at a 50, just a pink. I thought this one would be a 10. I thought it would be an easy 10. But that is not the way. So, but still a cool card. It's not like it's just rookie year or anything. We got a couple Diamond Kings. I want to say there's like 4 versions of this card. There's 2 batting, 2 pitching. And then you start getting into your parallel. So, I mean, this card is by no means in short supply. So these were just the 2 ones that I pulled when I had bought however many I bought. I was stoked. This was the only card in the order, but this one got the gold pristine. There are 13 copies on their website of this being in pristine condition. Don't know how many are on the PSA site, but I can guarantee you it's enormous. This was a pack pull from back in the day. You could tell right there, like, the cards are notorious for getting scratches on that acetate covering. But again, got the 10 auto. Other than that, these cards pretty much flawless, but it's near impossible to keep them things non-scratched. This card is the Red Ice out of 25. So I was pretty stoked about that. I mean, being out of 25 for one, and there are not a lot of 9s and 10s of this card. So I was pretty happy about that. Couldn't tell you why I didn't 10. This one, not off center. Notorious for getting little scratches. Maybe they should start adding the stuff that they put on reading glasses. Anti-scratch resistant. This is the Cognac from 2011 Jackie. Honestly, it's not my favorite parallel. I like the Silver Anniversary better because you get all the fire, but you also can still see the background. I mean, this one you can barely see the border. But being a Jackie card, I wanted to get it sent in and beef up my Jackie spots a little bit. This one I was kind of hoping like a 9.5, but I guess it's got a little bit of corner. But that was a pack pull from my box. Other than that, the surface of this is awesome. I got a whole bunch of those set aside, so it may be just throwing money down the drain. But those are cool cards. This one I was expecting a little bit higher of a grade. I did not see. I guess there are some scratch lines going across the gold there, so you know that is what it is. And I know the back centering's off a little bit, so you know my hopeful eyes are deceiving me when I send these things out. Cool little Diamond Kings, respectable grade, a little bit off center on the back, awesome front. All right, 2 more. There we go. This one I thought would be higher. It's got that canvas look to it. I think it's got, yeah, it had like, I couldn't tell if that was just supposed to be a brush stroke. To me, it's a brush stroke. I don't know if they maybe thought that corner was crapped out or not. That's where notes would help a lot. Because to me, this card was at least a 9.5 to a 10, but I'm good. And then final one, I was happy they even graded this thing. This is as thin as you can get and still call it, I guess, cardboard or a card. These are really, really like short printed. I bought this one when they first came out, and I guess before everybody realized how short printed they were, because I picked this raw up off eBay for like $35, and it wasn't soon after that it started going up. So I was kind of worried that they would call that too thin to grade, and it is definitely a respectable grade for this. I think most of them are off center one way or another, and they as hard as hell to even put in a card saver. So there it is, folks. That is the first S or CGC send off. I'm not mad at them. They're, you know, I got a couple cards that to me are in question, but that comes from, you know, all the grade and comedies. You know, especially being my own personal PC stuff, they're still the cards I've always had. So I have a couple that, you know, I got a couple 10s, 9.5s. I was hoping for a little bit more 9s, but it didn't happen. So my next send off will probably be a little bit more thorough going through. May even purchase a scanner to run these things through so I can blow them up myself. I'll probably still send them in and get graded. I like having them encased, and you know, and they're still the players, the cards that I want. So, but I think my next run will probably be try to offload this box of Star Wars cards I got. So there's some nice stuff in it, and then probably go next year to start funneling through some more baseball card stuff, because I'm really trying not to really buy any more modern stuff unless it's, you know, one of my Yankee players, something like that. Couple little sets that I pay attention to through the years, but as far as gobbling up Chrome and Bowman and every other craptastic thing that they're putting out with 75 parallels, and half the parallels probably won't even grade an 8. It's just not worth it anymore. So, all right, well, that's my rant at the end of the video. Everybody, I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you give a thumbs up. And until next time.